How often should you be releasing new music onto platforms such as Spotify if you are a music artist? Well, in this video, we're gonna find out what that exact number is according to math. There's a lot of disagreement on what the exact perfect number is, but that number varies anywhere from every 2 months to once a week. So pretty big range there. And one thing is in common between, I think, both of these numbers, and that you should be releasing music frequently. Just how frequently, that's what we're going to talk about here. So we're going to look at a couple of different examples of actual artists who have been very successful and what are their uploading schedules like. So one example is Russ, and he's an independent hip hop artist who absolutely blew up all on his own just by releasing one song a week for like over 2 years. And all he would do is put out that song and then do like a simple Instagram reel of him just singing along to his song. And that was mostly his plan, and after doing that consistently, he eventually blew up. So Russ is a platinum indie hip hop artist. In his own words, he said, "I put out a song a week for 2.5 years. It's a volume game." So doing the math, it took him 130 songs before he finally blew up and eventually went platinum. That's a lot of songs, but hey, we're music artists. Don't we like creating lots of music? I like this idea because I want to be able to put out tons and tons of music. And I don't like the idea of being held back. So I'm really excited about that. You can put out tons of music, and putting out a song once a week is not too much. And from going platinum, Russ himself says he makes upwards of $100,000 a week just from his streaming royalties. That's insane. But the good news is you don't have to be a platinum artist to make a full-time income as a music artist. In fact, you can make a comfortable 6-figure a year income just with 1,000 true fans. If you want to know the exact formula guide that independent artists are using to make full-time incomes with their music, then click in the description below to grab my guide, my free fan funnel formula guide, and this will walk you through kind of just what is the blueprint for earning a full-time income as a music artist. So this is a free guide. You can grab it in the description below or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/fan. I might be feeling a little overwhelmed, like one song a week. That's insane. Don't worry, you don't have to upload that quickly. With the rest of this video, we're going to walk through kind of some different ways of thinking about this and different timelines for you, as well as I'll also share with you how you can easily get more music released. In fact, I'll share with you a little ninja trick for tripling or even quadrupling your song output with very little extra work. So the bottom line of this is you want to release music as often as you can, because the more songs you have out there, not only do you have more at bats, in other words, you have more chances of a song taking off and doing well for you and exposing the rest of your catalog to more fans, right? That's another opportunity for your song to get picked up by the Spotify algorithm. But more songs means more income. So if you have more music, more streams coming in if you have more songs, then you need fewer streams per song to make a decent income. That's the math side of things that we're going to get to in a second. However, if you're only releasing one song a quarter, or you're only releasing one song every 2 months or so, then you're only getting like 4 to 6 songs out a year. And that's going to take a long time to build your catalog. It's going to take a long time to build up any kind of substantial streaming revenue, and you get fewer chances to trigger that algorithm. So you want to lean on the side of more songs released, not less. And that is really helpful for the Spotify algorithm. Now, Russ himself says he built up a backlog of 25 songs. He had 25 finished songs before he actually started releasing music. This way, he had, for himself, 25 weeks or half a year of content ready to go before he got started, so he could easily maintain that. So let's dive deeper into the math of why releasing a lot of music makes the most sense. So let's say you wanted to make $1,000 a month from streaming. That's not a full-time income, but that's a pretty decent side income. And if you're getting that much from streaming, you're probably getting more exposure. You're probably building up a fan base, and you're well on your way to going full-time. So that is great. This is, believe it or not, this is actually fairly reasonable for indie artists, as I've met and encountered many indie artists that are making easily upwards, 100 to 800 to 1,000 or more a month just from Spotify streams alone. So breaking it down in terms of streams, you need roughly 250,000 streams a month to make $1,000 a month from Spotify. So if you have one song, you need that one song to get 250,000 streams a month to make $1,000 a month. That's going to be hard. If you only had 20 songs published on Spotify, then you would need each song to generate 417 streams per day per song. that's still a pretty tall task. Now, let's say you had 100 songs on Spotify. This is where it gets interesting. If you have 100 songs on Spotify, now you only need 83 streams a day per song, and that's much more manageable. And if you're publishing one song a week, you can get to that 100 song catalog in just 2 years. So 83 streams a day per song. That's pretty reasonable. If you can get each one of your songs onto a series of playlists where people are actually listening, you could easily rack up those 83 streams a day per song, and then boom, you're at $1,000 a month from your Spotify streams. Now, what if you had 300 songs on Spotify? With that number, you would only need 28 streams per day per song, and that is extremely manageable. Now, it could take a while, right? If you're uploading every week, that's going to still take you 6 years, and that's, it might be hard to maintain, but you can see this is very obtainable. So for a lot of artists, getting to the $1,000 a month number, for them, it seems to be the sweet spot generally is around 100 songs. So I would say shoot for getting to a 100 song catalog as quick as possible, and then reevaluate. So if you can release 100 songs in a consistent fashion and promote each song as you release it, provided your music is good enough, you should be in striking distance of a full-time income, if not better, from your music. And this was about the same case for Russ as well, as he released free music for years and had dropped around 100 songs before releasing his debut album For Sale, which ended up going platinum. So started out just releasing singles, and then finally had like a full album that people could buy and did a big album promotion, and that's where he really skyrocketed and made his sales. Not saying this will happen for you. Obviously, like Russ is kind of a one in a million, but you should be able to generate a good $1,000 to $4,000 a month minimum, provided you're promoting your music, building an email list, and building out your offers such as merch, maybe a membership fan club, physical music, digital downloads, and so on. Again, if you want to learn more about how to build out other streams of income and revenue and how to fit all the pieces together, grab my free fan formula guide in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/fan. So there are several key benefits to releasing music regularly. So there's momentum. Releasing new music on a regular schedule helps to establish a consistent presence and momentum for an artist, which will increase your visibility and attract new fans. It also helps you keep your fan base engaged. Consistently releasing new music keeps your existing fan base engaged and invested in your music. Fans are more likely to follow an artist who is actively releasing new content, and they're less likely to forget about you, because you're going to have music continually popping up. It's going to show up in their release radar playlist, and it's just going to help build and snowball from there. So it also helps you stay relevant. In today's fast-paced music industry, releasing new music regularly helps artists stay relevant and top of mind among fans and industry professionals. It also helps boost your creativity, because releasing music frequently can help you stay creative, as you are forced to be prolific and come up with new ideas, concepts, and styles of music. I did a whole other video talking about why you should emphasize being prolific over trying to be proficient with your music. Instead of the goal being the quality of your music, the goal should be the output of your music, because by creating more music, putting more outputs out, you're going to arrive at quality, high quality music much faster than if you're just spending so much time on one song. This concept has been proved over and over again. For example, there's a famous story about I think it was a college professor that taught photography. They divided their class in half, and they had one half of the class focus on creating the best photo possible. They had to take one picture, but it had to be absolutely perfect, and they'd be graded on the quality of the photo. The other half of the class, they were graded just on the quantity of photos that they took. So the more photos they took, the higher their grade. And at the end of this experiment, the ones that were focused on quantity actually produced better quality than the group that was focused on just creating that one perfect photo. And if you think about it, if you're like me at all when it comes to creating music, you've probably found that you grow a lot faster when you're making more music versus like spending time bogged down on one song, mixing it over and over and over again, and never releasing anything. So that's another huge reason why having a faster paced release schedule can actually help you grow faster and create better quality music at the same time. This is also great because singles are amazing for exposure. So if you're just trying to get exposure right away, get out as many singles as possible. Russ himself says, people are not trying to hear an album from someone they don't know, but people are always dying to click on the first song. So I was like, cool, I'm going to drop 1-song albums every week. So that's another interesting way of thinking about it. So again, to kind of summarize, what is the Russ strategy for going platinum, for getting tons of streams? It is to release 1 quality song a week. Step 1. Step 2 is to promote the song on social media with at least 1 video. So this could be a reel, a TikTok, YouTube short, or 1 video that goes on all those platforms of you simply singing along to the song, and then you repeat until success. So those are the only 2 steps, really. Is this doable for you? Maybe, right? There's plenty of, right, YouTubers out there that kind of focus on putting out 1 quality video a week. Can you focus on putting out 1 quality song a week and then just promoting it with like 1 video of you singing along to the song, right? Low production value, doesn't have to be super well produced or anything. And here's the thing, like Russ didn't go viral. He built momentum with each new release. Each new release slowly but surely built his audience until he hit a tipping point. So don't aim for viral, aim for consistent, predictable growth. So you don't have to do this, right? Again, if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't worry. You don't have to do 1 song a week. So you don't have to release a song every week. Don't worry, that is kind of insane. So I understand if that's not possible for you. I don't even know if that's possible for me. But that's something I'm thinking I might want to try in the near future. But there is also a downside to this strategy, and that you can not pitch every single one of those songs to the Spotify editorial team, as you can only do 1 song at a time. And typically you need to give them, several weeks notice in advance. You have to submit it to them a couple weeks in advance for them to have the chance to look at it and potentially add it before it goes live. So another great strategy is something my friend Nico does. He goes by Jend. He has over 4 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Yes, 4 million monthly listeners. And that's where he's also where I get a lot of my ideas about how to grow a fan base with your music. I did a full interview with him. You can check out. I'll have a link below to that. But he releases a song every 4 to 6 weeks. So that is something you might want to think about as well. And this is great if you want to put also more promotion behind your music, right? If you're going to run ads, if you're going to be reaching out to more people, this way you can put more focus into each song. So this might be kind of the sweet spot if you're able to do that. But if you're someone who's doesn't really know much about marketing, you don't have an ad budget, then just put out tons of music, I would say. But if you're someone who can focus more on promotion, then do the 4 to 6 weeks route. Maybe you start with one strategy, then you adjust to the other one, right? There's different ways to do this. There's no kind of right or wrong way, but 4 to 6 weeks, that's still considered a pretty frequent release schedule. That's every month to month and a half. So in Nico's book, The Independent Artist Blueprint, which I highly recommend, by the way, I'll have a link to that in the description as well. And you can actually get 20% off this book when you use my code. So Nico, in his book, The Independent Artist Blueprint, here's what he says about this. Consistency is crucial. Simply releasing a few songs or an album annually is insufficient unless you're already well established. Regular releases, ideally a song every 4 to 6 weeks, help you to ride the wave of Spotify and social media algorithms, fostering growth and momentum. Additionally, when you have just a few songs out, it's essential to recognize the power of a comprehensive catalog. So this is kind of what I've been talking about. Streams often increase months after their initial release, and a well-rounded catalog, unified in sound and style, is incredibly important. It helps each song complement the growth of the others, creating a cohesive and compelling body of work that resonates with your audience and sustains their interest over time. So this is all just what I've kind of been saying, but just pointing to, someone who is an expert is echoing this as well. And by the way, I can't recommend this book enough. It is so amazing. The Independent Artist Blueprint, you can get it by clicking in the description below, or you can go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/Jend/Jend, that's Jend, and you can get 10% off this book at checkout by using my code Reagan10. So make sure to use that code at checkout, because not only will you get 10% off, but I can also earn a small commission at no extra cost to you, which really goes a long way to helping support this channel. So I thank you so much for your support. Now, speaking of publishing music, should you be publishing albums or singles? I talk about that in my next video, which you can get to by clicking on the screen right now. With that, have an awesome day, keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.